Welcome back. All right, 4 games tonight on the National Hockey League schedule, so all fits on one board. No problem. Just made sure I didn't take too many notes. I can sometimes take copious amounts of notes. So when it's a 4-game night, I try not to go overboard with it. So we'll start things off talking about Dallas and Florida. And Dallas's play lately, troubling. So Ottinger versus Bobrovsky in this one. The Stars have a 2-on-1 that misfires. The Panthers press at a minute and a half. They don't get shots. The shots are 3-0 Dallas at 3.5 minutes. Lindell has a shot that saved as the Stars press, and then Florida scores on their first shot. It's Rodriguez from Mikkola and Reinhart at 4:39. It was buried on a fast break. So I felt bad for Ottinger on some level, like all these shots at the other end, and then the first chance he faces, really, really difficult fast break opportunity. Panthers press at 8.5 minutes. Duchesne has a chance saved as the Stars are pressing. Bennett has a wraparound that's blocked. Verhaeghe's denied from the slot. The shots are 7-6 for Dallas with 6.5 minutes left. And Foxa would score from the slot on a turnover at 13:42. Craig Smith and Harley with the assists. We get 2 minutes of 4-on-4. Not much happened there, though. Tkachuk has a rush chance that's saved, and then Reinhart buries one from the side of the net to restore the lead for Florida. Barkov and Rodriguez with the assists at 18:14. So it's 2-1 Florida after one. Second period, Florida scores on their first shot again. At 24 seconds, it's Verhaeghe from Bennett and Mikkola. It was a 3-on-2, and Verhaeghe buries it. So it's 3-1. Lundell then has a chance turned aside. The shots are 5-3 for Florida, 5.5 minutes in. Verhaeghe with a turnover chance that's held. We get a power play for Dallas. During that power play, there was a high stick on Hintz. Referee just misses it. It does happen. Robertson has a shot that deflects out. That power play's killed off. The Panthers press after it's done. We get power play number 2 for Dallas. Florida kills that off as well. Shots are 10-9 for Florida with 5 minutes left. Things get punchy on a hold by Ottinger. Duchesne has a rush chance that's defended. Hanley had a blast that was saved and held. The Stars press to close it out. Bobrovsky with some saves in the closing seconds. So it's 3-1 for Florida after 2. Third period, early power play for Dallas, and they score on it. It is Marchment from Duchesne and Heiskanen at 39 seconds, burying it in close. And then at 4:15, Dodonov tips one in. Hakanpää and Johnston with the assists. So suddenly it's a 3-3 tie. Not for long. At 4:52, Barkov on a Florida bounce. It's buried. Reinhart and Rodriguez with the assist there. Panthers get a power play, and they score on it. It's Rodriguez from Ekman Larson and Ekblad at 7:59. It was with 5 seconds left on the power play, buried from the slot, so Dallas almost kills it. But Dallas then gets a power play as well, and at 12:26 they score. Harley from Marchment at 12:26. That one's through a screen. Suter prevented a Florida goal at the other end to keep it within a goal. Goalie pull happens with 1:50 left. Dallas gets some chances, but in the end they fall short 5-4. Florida goes to 15-8-2 with the win. Dallas drops to 14-7-3 with the loss. Shots on net, 11 apiece in the first, 13-11 Dallas in the second, 11-9 Dallas in the third. Final shots 35-31 for the Stars. Power plays, Dallas 2 for 4, Florida 1 for 1. The hits 19-15 Dallas. Ottinger 26 saves on 31 shots. Bobrovsky saved 31 out of 35 at the other end. So, Florida ends up winning this game, and for Dallas, kind of a tough loss there on the road. All right, next up, Pittsburgh. And I have to say straight out, they have to fix this power play. There's too many talented players not doing anything on this power play. So it's Jarry versus Vasilevsky. The early jumps for the Penguins. Simon has a shot that's kicked aside. Tampa Bay presses at 2.5 minutes. Penguins block. Gensel misses one wide as the Penguins have some pressure. But Tampa Bay would get a power play, and they would score on it. It is Cirelli from Hedman and Kucherov at 5:56. Kucherov then has a rush chance that's held as Tampa Bay looks for another. Pressed by the Penguins at 8 minutes. Stamkos to point, ends up being picked off by Carlson. Barry Boulet's denied and close. Ludwig has a net feed that's picked off. We get a power play by Tampa. That's killed off. Sergachev has a blast after the power play ends that's held. There's a near miss for Stamkos in the final minute, but it's 1-0 Tampa after one. Second period. Teams exchange early rushes. The Bolts score, but there's an offside challenge, so take that off the board. Net feed to Nylander, near miss. Jeannot can't bury one in close. Barry Boulet to Cirelli. There's a near miss there. Fans call one. The referee does not. We get a power play for the Pens. Near miss for Gensel. They cycle. That's killed off. Tampa Bay then does get a power play. Stamkos has a blast that's held. There's some pushing. And then Kucherov buries one from his spot. Hedman with the assist at 8:31. So Kucherov, goal and an assist tonight for Tampa, stays red hot. Bolts press for another. Crosby's denied and close. Things get pushy on a hole by Vasilevsky. Not a lot of rebounds from Vasi tonight. Perbix has a shot that's held as the Bolts press, but then at 17:04, Tampa Bay adds another. It's Jeannot from Asimont at 17:04. So Jeannot on the board, it's 3-0 in favor of Tampa Bay. 1:42 left, the Penguins get a power play, but it's a Pens power play, so it rolls over to the third period where the Bolts finish the kill. Nylander has a rush chance, that's saved. Malkin with a net feed, that gets blocked. The Penguins press after. Letang has a shot that's held. There's some pushing after that. Bolts press at 5.5 minutes are kept to the outside. The shots are 7-0 Pittsburgh 6 minutes in. Malkin couldn't bury one in close. It's cleared out. Cirelli's denied on a breakaway. We get a power play for Tampa Bay. That's killed off. Asimont's denied from the slot. 5:29 left. There's a delay of game. Penguins with a power play. And then they had 40 seconds of 5-on-3. And it's killed off. Tampa Bay just kills that off. And honestly, at this point, I do think it's in their heads. I don't know how you get out of it, but is Pittsburgh worthy of a video at this point? Yep, kind of, sort of. I'm thinking tomorrow a video on Pittsburgh and a video on Arizona. I want to keep talking about one team that's having its struggles and one team that's doing well. So in the end, they don't get the shutout. Gensel scores from Crosby at 19:07. It pinballs in. Vasilevsky was out of position. Just some sloppy defense. It's the final minute of the game. So Tampa Bay wins 3-1. Pittsburgh pulled the goalie, but they don't generate another. Pittsburgh drops to 11-11-3 with the loss. Tampa Bay 12-10-5, their second win in a row. So the shots on net, 11-4 Tampa Bay in the first, 10-9 Pittsburgh in the second, 10-8 Pittsburgh in the third. The final shots 28-24 for Tampa. Power plays, Pittsburgh 0-4, Tampa Bay 2-4. The hits 21-15 Pittsburgh. Jari saves 25 out of 28. Vasilevsky saved 23 out of 24. I think we can now safely say Vasilevsky's back to being Vasilevsky, and his numbers are getting better and reflecting that, which is bad news for other teams in the East. So there's definitely something awry with the Pittsburgh Penguins, and I think it's video worthy tomorrow. All right, next up, Vegas and St. Louis. So I did the video a few days back on how absolutely ridiculous St. Louis is for being unpredictable. Even inside of one game, it's unpredictable. So it's Thompson versus Binnington. There's an early press by Vegas. Shanda Hayes, near miss. It gets cleared out. Hutton has a shot that's blocked as Vegas presses. We get a power play for Vegas. It becomes 45 seconds of 4-on-4. Everything gets killed off there. Kolasar has a tip shot that's held. The shots are 6-1 for Vegas at 7.5 minutes. And on their seventh shot, they score. White Cloud from Roy and Kolasar at 8:03. He buries one far corner on a net drive. But the Blues press for response, and they eventually get it. At 9:20, it's Jake Neighbors with his 10th of the season. Thomas with the assist. Vegas presses for response as well, but St. Louis gets another. It's Hayes on what's their fourth shot of the game. Krug and Kyrou with the assists at 10:33. So 2 goals on 4 shots, and St. Louis would keep it up. Toropchenko has a rush chance that's blocked. We get a power play for the Blues. That was killed off. 0 shots for St. Louis during that power play. And then Kyrou, a nice tic-tac-toe play, gets his first after 10 games without a goal. Shen and Falk with the assists at 17:09. It's 3-1 in favor of St. Louis. We get a press by Vegas with 1.5 minutes left. But yeah, it's 3-1 St. Louis after one. Second period. Marchessault to Cotter near miss. Teams exchange rushes. There's a near miss on a net feed to Kapanen. Howden has a rush chance that's saved. We get a power play for Vegas. I'm going to be saying that a lot. Short-handed rush by Buchnevich is saved. Carlson's denied. Binnington holds. Power play's killed off. Blues get a power play. Buchnevich is denied from the slot. Things get pushy on a hole by Thompson. That power play's killed off. 4 shots for St. Louis on that power play. But then Eichel turns around, wires one from the slot. He scores from Barbashev and Stone at 9:42, so that makes it 3-2. Amadio's then denied and close. We get a power play for Vegas, and they score on it. Marchessault from Carlson and Eichel, 11:51. They did not challenge for goalie interference there. I understand why you don't want to put him back on the power play. I think they had a good chance. Not of a penalty being called, but I think the stick's knocked out of Bennington's hand. It's a player coming into the crease with the puck, but still, I think there was a chance for goalie interference in that it indirectly leads to the goal. I think at least it's a 50-50 chance at worst. I'm kind of surprised they didn't challenge it, but I get it at the same time. And then at 12:18, so seconds later, Kolasar scores. That one from McNabb and Korczak, and this is where the Blues call a timeout to discuss things. But again, I would have challenged for goalie interference on the other goal. 2:01 left. There's too many Blues on the ice, so Vegas with a power play, and they score at 19:42. It's Amadio from Stevenson and Barbashev. He buries a rebound into an open net. So after going into the period down by 2, Vegas scores 4. They come out of the period up by 2, 5-3. So third period, Marchessault has a chance it's held. There's a power play for Vegas, and that's basically how the third period went. Eichel has a tip shot. That's held. The power play's killed off 8 shots for Vegas on that power play. Binnington very, very busy. Vegas goes back to the power play. This is where the ref is informed that he sucks. He was told that a lot for the rest of the way. Power play's killed off 2 shots, and then there's a bench major, or bench minor, I should say, because somebody on the St. Louis bench clearly said something. The officials didn't like it, and so we get an unsportsmanlike. That was killed off as well. However, while they're killing that penalty, they took another one. So Vegas goes back to what was their 8th power play of the game. That's killed off too, but the crowd's not happy because how many minutes of the game was spent on the penalty kill for St. Louis? Sure, they don't allow goals on those back-to-back-to-back penalty kills, but it's 6 minutes off the clock. So they pull the goalie with 4:01 left because they're down by 2. The empty netter is Carlson from Hague at 19:48, so with a little bit less than 12 seconds left, Vegas scores to make it 6-3. They go to 17-5-5 with the win. St. Louis 13-11-1 with the loss. And again, this just shows how wildly unpredictable St. Louis is. Shots on net, 13-11 Vegas in the first, 16-10 Vegas in the second, 20-9 Vegas in the third. Final shots, 49-30 for Vegas. Power plays, Vegas goes 2 for 8. St. Louis 0 for 3. The hits 17-10 St. Louis. Thompson saved 26 out of 29. Binnington saved 43 out of 48, but I don't know how many of those I'd put on Binnington. I'm going to go ahead and say I don't know that I'd put any of them on Binnington. But anyways, we need to move along to the final game of the night. So Carolina has a bit of an issue, and I don't know that it's just as simple as, well, it's goalies. I think the defensive coverage is not great either. So Kochetkov versus Skinner. 28 seconds in, the Oilers get the lead. It is McLeod from Foegele. He tips one in. It was Foegele that stole the puck, so an early forecheck by Warren Foegele leads to a goal. And 13 seconds later, it's 2-0. So face-off win and buried. Ekholm from McDavid and Bouchard. That was already the third shot of the game. 2 of them have gone in for Edmonton. And there you go. Edmonton's off and running. We didn't know that was the game winner, and we're only 41 seconds in. Canes press at 3 minutes. Shea has a chance to save, deflects out. Oilers press, the Canes block, but then Hyman scores from Janmark and Bouchard at 5:46. So on their 6th shot, the third goal goes in, and that ends the night for Kochetkov. Ranta goes in. I've been saying for a while, I'm surprised Carolina's not fixed or looking to fix. I haven't heard anything about them trying to fix the goaltending, but it does need to be fixed, Don Waddell. Ekholm has a blast that's held as the Oilers press. The shots are 8-4 for Edmonton at the half. And at 14:02, Hyman adds another. He scores from Nugent Hopkins and McDavid on a one-timer on a cross-crease pass. So it's 4-0 for Edmonton. 3:07 left. The Canes get a power play. That's killed off. It remains 4-0 after 1. Second period. McDavid's denied on a net drive. And then on a fast break, Foegele just puts it through Ranta. Janmark with the assist at 2:49. It's 5-0 in favor of the Edmonton Oilers. So the shots are 6-2 for Edmonton, 6.5 minutes in. Kulak has a point shot that goes wide. McDavid fires one wide from the slot. We get a power play for the Canes. Burns has a deflected shot that's held. The Oilers kill that off. Near miss on a net feed to Kane. Teams exchange rushes to finish out the period. It stays 5-0 after 2. Third period. Early press by the Oilers. The shots are only 1 apiece at 3 minutes because look at the score. McDavid with a net drive, that's defended. Aho has a blast, that's saved. Chatfield had a shot that was held, and then at 7:05 on a rush, Stahl breaks the shutout. He scores from Slavin to make it 5-1. Oilers look to answer. Aho has a wraparound chance, that's held. And at 9:35, Hyman scores the hat-trick goal from McDavid. Great pass, no-look pass by McDavid, just insane. I don't know how you defend against that when the guy doesn't even look where he's taking the puck to. But, yeah, so Hyman with the 6-1 goal and the hat trick, the third of his career, I believe, and the second this season already. We get a post for Connor Brown next shift. He's just snake bit. He's not allowed to have a goal in Edmonton. Post for him, and then Kokaniemi has a wraparound chance. That's held. Power play for the Canes, that's killed off. And yeah, Skinner had a really good performance, worthy of note here. Stuart Skinner's turned his numbers around over the last couple of weeks. They win this one 6-1. They go to 10-12-1 with the win. Carolina 14-10-1 with the loss. This is getting troubling. It is just the goaltending issue is there, and now tomorrow night they're in Calgary. So it's not like they've got a couple of days off to talk this over. Yeah, Rod has to get the guys ready for tomorrow in Calgary against a Flames team that should be kind of ornery after losing last night 5-2 against Minnesota. So the shots on net, 16-11 Carolina in the first, 10-9 Edmonton in the second, 14-13 Carolina in the third. Final shots, 39-34 for Carolina. Power plays, the Canes 0 for 2. Edmonton 0 for 1. The hits, 22-19 Carolina. Kachatkov saved 3 out of 6. Ronta saved 25 out of 28. And Skinner, 38 saves on 39 shots. So that'll bring his numbers up. Skinner's numbers definitely getting better. But let me know your thoughts regarding any of these games on the board in the comment section below as always. Don't forget to hit like and subscribe if you've not done so already. Thank you guys so much for watching, for all your support. I will talk to you again soon.